Ready? Begin.
Welcome to the Secret Group podcast.
Let's get started, shall we?
No, I don't know. I got it. I think it's fantastic. Trey and I were talking the other day after Post Cigars, and I realized Trey didn't think that Wyatt Earp was a real person.
I had no idea.
I could see that.
Yeah.
It's a white legend like Johnny Appleseed.
Yeah. There's people that existed that or not that you whatever they say existed, but you hear their story and you go like, "There's no one's a real." I didn't know Julius Caesar was a real person. Cleopatra, like that whole era of shit is like
Bill Bellamy.
Yeah.
He wanted a weird name.
There's certain shit like. But I feel like that's just gonna happen.
Yeah, like
50 years, they were like, "No way, there was a Martin Luther King."
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's just there's no fucking way.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Wyatt Earp, but I'm like, oh damn, this
Wyatt Earp
whole
and a blue ox. That's not believable.
Yeah.
That's really fucking it all up.
I just didn't. But I was like, what the hell? But I
Dude.
watched
Pecos Bill was a real guy, and we all have to admit that.
Yeah.
You don't remember Pecos Bill?
No,
Of salsa
another
fame?
made up name.
No, he used to fucking. He used to fucking lasso tornadoes.
Yeah.
Pecos Bill with who was the Paul Bunyan?
Paul Bunyan,
Pecos Bill.
yeah,
There's
Johnny
John
Apple.
Henry.
John Henry.
John Henry.
John Henry was just a big, strong black guy.
Yeah.
So that's what he was.
Oh, okay. So that's not Nigger Jim.
No, but it was a stronger, more evolved. It was
All
the X-Men of N-word Jim.
Okay.
Sam Clemens wrote.
I think John, and I could be wrong, but I think John Henry was like known for how fast he could build railroads.
Damn, he was Asian.
like how quick, right?
John Henry.
He was really strong. Can we look up what John Henry was famous for?
So John Henry was a steel driving man.
So okay, I'm not
Steel
wrong.
driving,
No, there's
Is that
there's
not-
a lot of old folk songs about it. I don't know if that's a real person.
It's not a real
I'm
person.
saying.
None of the people I were talking about was not real. None of them.
Yeah.
Paul Bunyan is not real. Pecos Bill is not
not
real.
real, yeah.
I'm literally naming people off Disney's Tall Tale from 1995.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, John Henry is famous for his race against a steam-powered drill to prove that a black worker could drill faster and farther than the
God
machine.
damn! Just justifying slavery. See why we did it?
They're that good. They're fucking good, dude. Why is it, we don't need your science, fancy machinery. We got John Henry.
You get you 8 John Henrys, you can build a nation.
He costs nothing. Just like, damn, dude.
John Henry's actually the great-great-grandfather of Derrick Henry.
Same output. It really is.
He too leads the league in rushing.
Very
That's so
fast.
funny.
God damn.
He
John loves that I tell. This is not a good joke, but he loves me bringing this up. The invention of the 40-yard dash. He fucking knows.
I don't know.
40-yard dash is just—that's how far it was to slavery. So people, I'm sorry, is that how far it was to freedom? So if people try to run away for fun, they'd be like, all right, let's just time these motherfuckers.
That's all it was 40 yards away?
No, that's the joke I say.
Damn, that's quick.
Yeah. So they were like, oh yeah, well, all right, we got to keep him. He might actually get away.
Yeah.
Damn, 40 yards.
Running a 4.7. No, but I didn't know Wyatt Earp and all that shit was.
I do love that because there's some stuff that is specifically to white culture.
Yeah.
Like
You know, they don't make any good westerns anymore.
not really.
What?
I mean,
New ones. The closest I can think of
310
is
to
like
Yuma.
310 to Yuma or what's the one with the oil?
Isn't that
There Will Be
Blood.
Yeah.
There Will Be Blood. Is that kind of a western?
No, it's not.
I mean,
really
it
a
was
Western.
based around that time. but
Close. It's close to a western.
I got a good one I can recommend.
What?
The Harder They Fall.
Yeah.
It's made
What
by.
year is that?
It's made by. That's 2022, I believe.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. Made by this guy
know.
named James Samuel.
There's a new one I've been meaning to watch with
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner.
Dog shit.
It's bad?
Man, I'm sorry to scream that loud.
No,
Dog.
I trust Trey's.
3 hours and 2 minutes.
I saw the ad for it. It come up on Netflix, and the first thing I thought is, Kevin Costner still alive? Literally,
This
had
is
no
why it's
idea.
hard to trust that movie. For one, it was on Max,
Yeah.
and then they ended that license quick because now it's on Netflix.
Where'd it start?
It bombed. No, he like
bombed in theaters.
He
He
self-funded it.
Kevin Costner
and it
did.
fucking
Beanos.
it bombed. Like it
Bro,
completely
it's
bombed.
2 chapters.
And this is the first one.
The first one is 3 hours and 2 minutes. This is what makes it bad, Andrew. it's these people doing real.
We know these people. All right, keep going.
Western.
I'm just
I don't even know. There's no black people in this movie. I just want y'all to know this is Old West. Yeah, it's
pre-Tupac.
It's you don't want to see a black person at this time. You be like, I feel guilty.
Yeah.
But it's them. The acting in it it's like a real reaction to something happening. If that makes sense to you, so. It makes you understand why a Tarantino movie is so good. Where the dialogue is also it's enhancing the action that you're seeing. Right. So it's either building more tension or it's moving the story forward. In this shit, a tragedy happens and then it's a lot of quiet. It's a lot of everybody just looking around, shocked, and then saying what just happened. So this is not something that happened, but let's just say a whole village was burnt down.
Right.
Okay, everybody is looking and being like, man, they really burnt that place down. I mean, it's really burnt down. Damn, there's nothing left. It's like it's how we would respond to seeing it versus they burnt it down. I wonder who did it. I think they went that. Like, it's shit that's helping lead.
So he's not pushing the plot at all.
At all. You just like, bro, what the fuck is happening? Everybody's on like it's too mellow of acting. Like everybody's playing it way down, but like in real time. The best person in the whole movie is Luke Wilson.
I like Luke.
He was really good. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Now
but I don't know if I like him in a serious Western. I like him in like Bottle Rocket. You know what I mean?
And the Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah, throw him in a Wes Anderson film or like somewhere where he's kind of like
oh wow,
what's
that's his brother.
That's his brother.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah,
but he
wow.
is. But Luke Wilson is, I think, the more charming of the two. He's in Idiocracy, but he's also he was also in Old School. Yeah. But he's a charming, like,
what a great film.
So
it's a classic. It really kind of changed comedies for a while.
I've been showing my girlfriend a bunch of like those coming of age comedies from like that like time period, like 1998 to like 2006 or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I showed her like American Pie and like Road Trip and like Euro Trip, and she wears a mouth guard at night. Okay. And so like she was just like one night she goes, Will, I think you think the sex crimes are funny.
Yes. For the time in which they happened.
Dude, those films in the 90s were pretty fucking dope.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like pretty fun. I remember accidentally seeing American Wedding with my dad in the theaters, and I was like, "This has got to be the most awkward 90 minutes of my life," because we hadn't laughed at the fact that I have fucked before.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, he didn't know I fucked. I didn't know that he knew I fucked, and we're sitting there, and there's pubes and cum, and I'm like, "We should leave."
Yeah. When I'm with the white girl, all we watch is super black shit.
Yeah.
So the other day we watched I Got the Hookup, and that was fucking. We watched I Got the Hookup, and she's like, "What is happening?" And she says that it's Master P and AJ Johnson.
Okay.
And basically this is during like the second cell phone boom.
Right.
So the first one with the big brick motherfucker.
Right.
But then this is when we're getting into flips and the
now
key.
Maybe
chirping.
Snake. You can maybe
now
play
he's chirping and Shorty's
It's so
chirping
accurate because look at the poster.
Yeah.
That's holding up a cell phone.
Yeah. So she is completely. She's laughing through a lot of it, but it's out of mostly confusion.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Like, I don't get. I'm like, baby, this is a hood classic right here. This is like, we watched this as a family. Man, I think about so many movies we saw as a. You talking about being there with your dad? We went and saw Players Club as a family, which is a stripper drama.
Yeah.
It's a movie about a strip club.
All right. So let's call it. What would be the Black Criterion Collection?
Of movies you have to have seen as a family.
You got to see it Friday.
Yeah.
You got to see it
Friday.
Friday's up there.
I'll go back. I can go back.
Queen Latifah's Last Holiday.
Should it be called the Criterion Collection?
The Black Criterion. Yeah, that's cool. Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
You had that scene, Harlem Nights. So then speed up. You can go. This is funny. This is gonna be crazy. But Martin Lawrence, You So Crazy. His
fun.
His stand-up special where he does a 4.5 minute jack off joke. Like he literally pantomiming jacking off for 4 minutes.
He was killer.
Almost a true session.
Yeah. I love Martin Lawrence. Dude.
But the movie Life.
Life makes it,
bro.
I love Life. You can't have none of my cornbread.
Don't watch it with
I love that shit, dude.
Don't watch it with a white girl. They see it as a drama. They're like, "Oh, this movie's so sad." They in prison the whole time.
Dude, that's a fun movie.
It's our Shawshank. Real shit though.
Dude.
Life is black.
Your
people's
Shawshank is so much more fun. Y'all having a good old time.
Oh yeah, we having a blast. We roasting each other and shit.
You don't have.
There's a baseball game.
You don't have Morgan Freeman implying rape the whole time. And one day, sometimes Andy lost and got butt.
We didn't talk much about that.
But all 3 Fridays.
Yeah.
You got to watch all the Fridays, all of the barbershops, and then
How do black people feel about Delirious?
Oh, that's like a classic. But the Raw is
Raw.
This was crazy.
Raw is the sequel.
Black comedy nerds like Delirious. It's just choppy, tight, boom. Like it's literally what every comic has modeled their special after. Everybody's doing Delirious. Where you started off one way and then the special ends on the callback to the beginning. He's like the first of really of that. Which is whatever. I don't want to get too nerdy about the comedy shit. He knows.
Let's do
Which
it.
is
We're
really just
comedians.
him.
It's actually the only thing we're qualified to talk about. We've talked about everything else, and we were like, I don't want to go too crazy.
Stay off of that.
Let's not talk. The only thing we're qualified to talk about is comedy. But we're like, no, let's not.
But Delirious, that special is him doing the last 6 minutes of Pryor's special live in concert.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy pretty much makes the whole his whole act is that the whole special. So and then everybody ends up doing
George
Delirious.
Lopez. George Lopez's first special is literally almost a shot for shot remake of Richard Pryor live at the Hollywood Bowl. Like
No, you mean live on Sunset Strip?
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the Palladium.
Yeah, at the Palladium. Yeah. And so basically, I watched those side by side, and you can see like George Lopez. He just
You have 2 TVs.
No, I
Just fucking around.
I've got 2.
Prioritize.
I'm in there watching game film. It was you could tell that George Lopez loved Richard Pryor so much that he like almost repackaged him in like a Mexican it was you could see the same like act outs when he's talking about different people in his family and so it's like because it's like Pryor would do stuff about his mom and then like Lopez would do stuff about his grandma, and I was just like
you could just see it. So but Delirious is like because it's tight, but the big one is Raw. Because it's him the most vulnerable as a stand-up. Talking about his
I
shit.
love them both.
Right.
And I think Eddie Murphy is one of the best comics that ever existed.
Right. Yeah.
Here's the craziest thing about that we all forget because Eddie Murphy's this is the 80s and whatever. But Delirious came out when he was 23 years old.
That's right.
Insane. What an insane thing to do. And then Raw came out. And my favorite thing about Raw was that this is the first time I'd ever seen this.
Okay.
Is that Raw was a sequel to Delirious.
That's right.
He had sequels to all of his jokes. Yeah. And Chappelle does that a little bit, but enough with the trans shit.
Yeah.
Right? Come on,
That's
dude.
funny.
Well, I don't need to see a 4th trans joke on here 4 years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like Eddie Murphy did it well. Like he talked about going to San Francisco, and he goes, gay people are mad at me. Different word, but he goes, they're mad at me, in Raw because he does the gay joke and whatever.
Quit looking at my ass.
And he's like, he goes, stop looking at my ass and Delirious. And then Raw, he goes, I went to San Francisco and they were like, I just heard woo, woo, woo. And I wasn't being pulled over. It was just some gay guy saying, pull over. And then he goes,
my favorite joke.
And then he goes, man, I made some joke about Mr. T. Mr. T was looking for me. I was like, oh shit. He was like scared about Mr. T. The whole joke's about it. Yeah. And he goes, Michael Jackson was looking for me. I was like, fuck that piece of shit. Like, where is he at? like he just, every joke had a sequel. Yeah. And that's how popular he was.
Exactly.
That he didn't have to look for new topics to write about that everyone's into. He's like, I'll just write about the shit I wrote about because everyone listened to what I wrote about.
Exactly.
And that's how crazy that
Yeah.
was. That's how much of a phenomenon he was.
Yeah.
I'm a little tipsy, but I
No,
love
but
Eddie
he's
Murphy.
like-
and I'm not wrong with
He's
that.
so
You're-
major in that time because he introduced the rock star, actual comedic rock star.
Yeah.
Nobody was
Leather
like
suits?
nobody was
Kidding me?
Elvis as a stand up. Like the closest you would get is kind of like Steve Martin, but then he bails when he could really flourish in it. He just starts doing movies.
And if you listen to Steve Martin's book, he's like, I step back. Yeah.
He
like I
pulled
did.
out.
He's like he did everything he wanted to do.
Born standing up.
Yeah.
Which is the one where Eddie Murphy's talking about his is his aunt or his grandma falling down the stairs?
That's delirious.
Yeah, Goonie Goo,
Goody,
motherfucker.
goody, yeah.
That's my favorite.
Dude, I love fucking Eddie Murphy. I have a joke where I kind of start with that, and I talk about how literally he's the first comic I ever watched, and I watched Delirious probably 30 times before I ever saw another comic.
Yeah.
And I was like, I always want to be a comic. I always want to be a black comic. I saw Delirious once, and I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like it was the coolest.
Yeah.
He's the
Hell
coolest
yeah.
fucking.
When my granddad got satellite TV in Mississippi, I snuck downstairs and all my family was watching Richard Pryor and laughing. And
Yeah.
I was like, they say so many mean things about these people. But
That's funny. They're saying the title of the album. That nigga is crazy.
yeah.
All right, so look, and we didn't even get into the prior movies that you have to like stir crazy.
Stir crazy.
These are like black like you gotta have.
How do you feel about what is it? Was it the toy? Is it called the toy?
That's when you're like, what the fuck happened? You just like he took
You
the
were
money.
on crack.
Took the money, man.
They're like, listen, you have to be this kid's toy.
Yeah. Oh no.
You're paying me how much? And
Brewster's
I'm-
Millions. That was
Brewster's
killer.
Millions is
I
like
love that.
fun, like but like.
But Brewster's Millions is
Stir-
not a part of the Criterion collection.
Yeah, nah. It's like and that's just like the comedies. Like you had that scene, like these all about the Benjamins.
All About the
Like it's like damn near every Ice Cube movie before
Before Daddy Daycare.
before
No, you gotta
Are
see
We
Daddy
There
Daycare.
Yet?
Yeah, Are We There?
You gotta,
Yeah,
you gotta see Are You There? Yeah.
But it's like, and then I mean, there's a ton, bro. Like then when you get into the dramas,
Yeah.
it's like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society,
New Jack City.
South Central. That's one I actually haven't seen, New Jack City, but South Central, Set It Off. We went and saw that as a fan. All these movies I'm saying to you, we went seen it. I seen most of these either in the living room with my family or we went to the movies and saw them as a family. And I mean, you just shouldn't have. As a kid, you're like, I should not have been there. As I think back, like it was just there's like a hardcore lesbian on lesbians. Is that how it works? Yeah, lesbian on lesbian scene with Queen Latifah and her girlfriend and Set It Off.
And
They
Queen
fuck on a
Queen
car.
Latifah looks like a lesbian, whether she is or not.
Oh man, she tries so hard.
Well,
She's
yeah,
not
in
a
the 90s
lesbian,
when she
though,
was
right?
when
She
she
is.
was rapping.
She's bi. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Will's
She,
bi.
she's bi. She mostly fucks
Not the
women.
same thing.
Look,
But it's-
I do what I got to do in show business.
Yeah, she mostly fucks women, but if some niggas around, she'll take it. Yeah. What's some of the have
white
to have?
films?
Yeah, because it's like
You know what? You're naming all those films, and I was thinking about films that I was like, how is this a white film where it should have been fucking a black film? That's crazy. I know
Okay.
that sounds crazy.
What do you mean?
Basketball Diaries, right there.
Ah,
It's all white cast. How is that crazy? That Leo DiCaprio. Is that crazy? Have you seen
Leo
Basketball
DiCaprio.
Diaries?
I have not.
Oh, see, it sounds like I'm being racist because it's called Basketball Diaries.
uh-huh.
But it is
No.
It is you got to watch it. God damn it.
I used to get it mixed up with Love and Basketball. And
That's
Yeah,
another
yeah,
one.
that-
That's
yeah,
another
yeah.
one. That's like a classic. Like, yeah, man, do the right thing. It's there's a few
What's-
of them
was-
where
is
What
that
about House Party? How do you feel about House Party?
all the up till 3.
Well, I didn't.
Once
I
you get
never
to
made
4,
it. No one made it to 3.
IMX is in it. It was Marcus
Yeah.
Houston in it. You're like, I've seen that one too. But House Party 1 and 2 for sure is
Y'all like to run a
class
series
act.
out until there ain't no money left.
because they make us do it. Tyler Perry built a studio on this.
Yeah, exactly.
Tyler Perry's worth $1 trillion.
Yeah. No, you have to. You. They make you. I had this conversation, right? Like, so you'll see a lot of white comics get the opportunity. I always say this, a lot of white artists get the opportunity to evolve as an artist where you can see them one way, you can be introduced to them one way, and then by it gets to the end of their career, they are a different artist. They do what they do differently. Like
Great examples, Carla.
You've seen it, and that doesn't happen for a lot of black artists because how you go in it, your fan base, it's like you will lose your bottom line.
You get stuck.
Which is the hood. You'll lose it.
You get stuck in this weird, just dribble the damn basketball sort of situation. Like
there's no evolution of Mike Epps.
Yeah.
I want you to think about that. There's no real how you were introduced to him. There's a difference. It's like this. To me, that's what's so like special about like a Chappelle, where you can see his comedy one way like at the beginning, and then it gets to this part where it's a little more evolved, like storytelling. Or he's figured out a way to weave and it's like you have no like Mike Epps is just like it's been that. It's just that it's done over. You see, like Kevin Hart, like it's kind of like how you saw him. It's just that. It's more of the same of it. They don't get the space to just do it.
Do you think that they I mean, sometimes people put themselves there, though, right?
They do. They box themselves in.
I feel like a lot of people box themselves in. Like I don't know. I know plenty of comics in Houston who aren't famous, but they're like, "This is what I do. This is my brand."
Yeah.
No,
Where
for
you
sure,
go
for
like,
sure.
"This is my brand," and I go, "What fucking brand?"
brother.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenon in comedy in general. Right
Yeah,
now,
true.
Is the pro wrestler comic? I'm like, that's not you.
Yeah.
You've never been that. You're being this character, and also that has always been a thing where there are comics that do something and they kind of get a little like success from that or whatever it is, and then they Bobcat Goldthwait, and it took him about 30 years to get out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
and
right.
he even like comes out when the first thing he always does, and he's a good comic and very funny.
You let me open for him.
And he comes out and he goes, I bet you guys thought I'd be like, you know what I mean? That's literally, he has to say, I think he has to say that every show.
Yeah.
Because it kind of makes people go, oh yeah, you're not just that dude.
Yeah.
But there is that pro wrestling comic out now I hate.
The pro wrestling kayfabe thing is super annoying, but I can't totally bash it because I definitely crank my southern accent up on stage. Like there's like a thing that like sometimes what I am saying does get set. It's lubricated when I go like this. Like, oh shit. So I was up there, I was doing this thing. I love eating pussy. Sounds funnier than I love eating pussy.
Yeah, you do. You know what? I haven't you do, and I think you all make the more exaggerated version of yourself when you're on stage a little bit. Until you just did those two things right there, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
And that's how subtle it is. So that, to me, that's fine because you're doing, because you're on stage and it's just a little bit.
And I am
if you're
from
a whole
Mississippi.
different character,
There you
dude,
go. Yeah.
you're a whole different person. You're like, Andrew, how you been, man? Good seeing you. And you're like, what's up, brother? I'm like, get the fuck out of here, Macho Man. That's crazy. I don't need to watch that shit. I don't like it.
I don't know. I mean, if we're talking about changing ourselves, like, apparently I get more social media engagement when I am pissed off on social media.
Yeah.
When I'm really jonesing for a cigarette and I'm shit talking online, that's when I get the most eyes on it. And
because that's who people believe in.
Well, that's because you are pretty much a level-headed person. I've always
for the most part.
I said pretty much.
Yeah. When I'm not fucking 9 Jaegers.
Every once in a while, you post a shit, and I go, I know exactly who that's about. and then you go, guys, this isn't about anybody. I'm like, motherfucker, yes it is. You live.
Yeah, no, well, I get like 9 texts. So here's the thing: when I talk shit online, right? When I say I come up with arbitrary and hyperbolic numbers. When I say things like 75% of people who think they're comedians, like that's an arbitrary number.
6.23.
Yeah.
I crunched it, dude.
Yeah. 90% of you motherfuckers. Like, it's just. Then I don't know. It's never. I never get when I talk shit online. I never get text messages from people who are actually good comedians with like some
Oh, yeah.
like it's like neither of y'all are like any of like good comedians.
Well,
are,
that's
like,
because I see you post that shit and I go, I'm gonna leave it alone. I ain't gonna touch this. One time we were in a group chat and I said something and then I deleted it.
Yeah.
Was I wrong?
No.
Exactly. I was right. I deleted it because I go, I don't think he wants everyone else to know.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
I get worked up sometimes, and I gotta work on that fucking temper.
But you hold it in.
Yeah, I do, and then people are like, I don't understand where this comes from.
I don't do it online, but I'm only reckless like that when I drink a lot.
Yeah.
And I've done a couple of sets, and I'm surrounded around mediocrity.
Yeah.
We'll see me just lose it on all these new guys. And the best shit is that I've been on the patio just going ham on everybody, and it is quiet.
It was so
it's quiet because nobody tells them the truth.
Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna say who it was. Someone came up to me the other day and was like, "Yeah, someone finally stood up to Tre." And I was like,
I don't know who that was. That's funny.
He was just getting up to go get a drink.
Yeah.
He was just next to Trey.
They stood up to me. That's so funny.
I lost my temper on stage, not in a bad way. It was a very funny way a few days ago, or I guess it was like last week, because there's just a bunch of folks who were their punchline is the word faggot. Like let's
Innovators.
call it what it is. The punchline is like faggot or Mexican or retard or whatever. And that annoys me because I like those words.
Sounds like you're in Austin a lot.
Yeah. Well, I do. I go to Austin a lot, and I got up on stage and I was like, all right, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit right now, just because I have confidence, and and I'm not gonna be just randomly mean. And everyone like started laughing, and it's like you can change your room. I don't like being the positive Polly, but like also like I don't know, intrinsic tension in a joke. If the only way you can break it is by saying faggot, then you're not a good comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all
I don't
you
know.
got.
I like the word, but
Austin, you guys, man, it's so crazy. I mean, you guys, you're not from there, but man, there is such a weird thing going on over there. I did a show at the Sunset Strip. This young comic, he'd been in it like 1 or 2 years. Right before I go up, he goes up, and I'm like, and there's like a curtain where you kind of wait right in between, and I just hear and he walks out. The first thing he goes, how many people here have said the N-word? And the crowd cheers.
Cheer.
And then he goes, I knew it was a cool crowd. And then he bombed for the next 5 minutes, and I come out and I just shit on this fucking little white kid for fucking 5 minutes. I'm like, this is insane, dude. Black people are way cooler than us.
What's Day-Day's bit? You know where all the black people in Austin live? Houston.
Yeah, love that so much.
That's fun.
Yeah.
God damn. No, we had mentioned something earlier about that shift though. In like how you saying everybody just uses these derogatory terms as like a crutch.
Yeah.
In the place of where a punchline should be.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
Well, those are my granddad's street jokes, right? And like I don't know. I think. Sorry, go on.
No, we were just saying the influx of that is a lot of these people influenced by people like Shane Gillis, who knows how to properly, place
That's
it
what
there
it
and
is,
then dissect it,
Right.
And then you influence this. Like it's just the worst part about a generational talent. Is the influence of the wave of bad comedy that comes behind it. It's like just imagine how many bad Richard Pryors there was.
Yeah, of course.
I'm talking about in his boom, like in the height of his shit.
I'm just imagining those really long fucking collars and
just people being like, I like pussy shits.
Who do you think the most
like
from open micers, right? We can start now and then let's go backwards.
Oh, let's do that. I like that. That's fun.
Right now, I think we can all agree the most almost not impersonated, but they're trying to be right would be Shane.
I would say Shane and Nate Bargatze.
Nate, and Mark.
Mark, I would say would be a couple years ago. but
Okay,
was definitely the
Yeah.
like you'd walk in and be like, hey,
I'm awkward.
You know?
Yeah,
And Mark does have a cadence that is like kind of contagious. Where
It is.
if I hang out with him too much, I start talking a little bit like him, and I'm
Right.
like, all right, I gotta kill myself.
Yeah.
But then before that, you know, who else did we have? Louis.
You had Louis for sure.
Louis was a big one.
And also, all of these all the open micers that did these people did it wrong almost always.
Yeah.
Like
Always.
it's very rare that you're like someone who kind of figured out.
Kyle
how to do
Kinane
both.
was a big
Shit.
one in the Midwest.
Jeselnik,
Jeselnik. Yeah.
which Jeselnik is probably the worst one to do wrong. because he's so good.
Yeah.
Then I mean that because I love Jeselnik first
Yeah.
off. Because he's so good at being dark and throwing
Pushing
that
the
twist,
buttons.
and you're like, "This is the twist," and then it's not that twist, but it's something close.
The
but
tension
you weren't there.
built.
But yeah.
Very,
so
very-
Jeselnik was good.
Chappelle's return. When
Yeah.
Chappelle returned,
Oh,
it was
and
a
everyone
lot
got
of
everyone
bad
hitting the
jokes.
goddamn-
fucking hitting fucking that shit. It was
That's got to be because there are. You think there's all right? So we pretty much before Chappelle, we just named all white comics,
Right.
That pretty much white comics were.
Yes.
You don't see fucking black open micers being like
What?
comedy. Oh
no.
you never saw that. You never really saw that.
Yeah, he did. They be like, this nigga's different.
So first off, I love the idea of a black comic doing a Mark Norman impersonation at like
Hilarious.
at like Swaggers.
Yeah. So believe when I like when I first like I'm talking the first year in when I would go up everywhere. You go up everywhere. I wasn't Mark Norman, but I was that to black comics on stage.
Yeah.
I was this is how they bring you up. This next comic, bro, he's funny, but you gotta really listen. That's how they bring you
Oh, this
up.
guy's got a joke.
When you got
You gotta tell
jokes,
a
they be
joke.
like, you gotta really listen to this nigga. He's saying some shit. And so
They do that. They do that to one of my best friends, Ben Daniel, when he goes to black rooms. They're
Yeah.
like, all right, this guy, he crazy dark, but like he cool. He just kidding.
yeah. So but you are that when you just kind of like just straight up and down joke telling. No personality to you yet, nothing.
Who are the black comics that black open micers?
D-Ray Davis.
D-Ray Davis, Corey Holcomb, Mike Epps.
They just fucking
if you're
hit.
fat- if
they
you're-
just hit a woman on stage.
Who you talking about?
Corey Holcomb. Come on,
That's funny though.
That's like the new. Isn't that the new drama? Then he hit a girl.
So no, you don't know the whole story.
no, not at all.
I break this shit down.
I just know the TMZ version.
So,
Fine.
didn't
Corey
hit the-
Holcomb hit a woman.
Never
hit the
hit the
bitch.
girl. Never hit the girl. I don't know the lady's name. I forgot. He said her name. He won't say her name because of the shit that's going on. But she's like a known crazy person.
Yeah.
Like amongst that scene and people around, she's one of them women that
In our scene, who would she be? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I tell you, damn, and I seen it'll be a dude. I got a lady really, but she's that kind of girl. Like I could think of some. I could if I
Eddie?
say
I'm just kidding.
no, if I say some initials,
Yeah.
JC. I think y'all know what I was saying.
No, I don't. JC.
She named after
Is there a poster on the wall
She named
right
after
now?
Jesus Christ.
the Kennedy that got his wife.
All right, yeah, well, let's start over.
All right, whatever. But
I
fuck
can't.
that.
Well, tell me afterwards.
I think you know
I'm
who.
retarded.
But anyway, she's like a known kind of crazy energy, meaning she show up to places. He know who I'm
there we
thinking.
go. Yeah.
He clicked. So
Yeah.
she show up and
I was thinking both initials stood for something. The first one just stands for the same.
exactly.
It's right next to your
Really
head.
funny.
Hey, you can't point that out.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't even talking about her. That's funny.
No,
Oh, that's not her.
That's funny. So it's two of them.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't even talking about her.
I was talking about the other one.
I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, I'm talking
hold
about
on.
the white one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
White
a whitey.
JC. Yeah, I wasn't talking about her.
JC.
Nah.
A girl.
Yeah. Goddamn. Can you bleep it or this too?
I can bleep it, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I
You're
don't-
throwing out people that don't exist no more.
But I'm just saying.
that
when
girl fucking is eight and gone. She's been out of here forever.
But I'm saying.
you have to
that-
bleep all that.
You can,
Anyways.
but I'm saying that's the kind of energy when this person show up, motherfuckers. If we in a circle, this person come, you start trying to move the circle away from that person. You hoping they don't come around.
You just pull out.
So
that circle.
she was on some some shit that night. She was like on some shit, and she was on that kind of energy that night. Now her dude is a door guy at the club that they was at, so she was like kind of revving up and was talking shit to Corey. She was talking shit to him. Now they never like to roast with her. That's what they do outside that club on Mondays. Everybody stand outside and kind of roast each other and fuck around. It's the way black people network. We see if you can take a
You
joke
guys
or
are
whatever.
so cool. That sounds awesome.
But nobody ever wanted to roast with her because she was good at getting them off. But when it was her turn to take it take this serious turn and all this kind of shit. So
I wish you would.
Why you say that?
Yeah. So you're like, everybody trying to avoid her. Well, she came at Corey on some bullshit, like yelling and screaming and whatever. And he like, man, and he telling the her boyfriend, hey, you might want to come. This is exactly what he's saying. Hey, man, you might want to come get your bitch. You might want to come get your bitch because now she's getting in his face and he's like, I'm not saying I'm going to do nothing, but I'm going to get you up off me. You're not just finna be up on me, whatever. Right. So the guy comes over and to rush, he comes over just rushing Corey emotionally. Corey ends up putting him to the ground, and then it ends up being a whole scuffle and it was a commotion outside. He was off after he put the dude down to the ground or whatever. He was kind of out of the altercation. Well, then when everything dries up, now the whole time this is happening, the girl is yelling out, "This is what I wanted. This is what I want." Like she wanted the drama to pop off. Basically. The scuffle clears, and then she gets online and saying, "Look what he did to my hand," and all this shit.
Hand.
But it was but her
punches
shit,
hands. How do you do that?
No, bro, it was all
he did this in my hand.
It was all
That's
the bullshit.
crazy.
So it was like, but then the thing that gets picked up is this person. He sort of a name. So you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But back to the black comics who they imitating. Him for sure. Corey Holcomb, D-Ray. Mike Epps.
If you're over 275, you're gonna do more of a Bruce earthquake sort of deal.
Earthquake is another one. And then
no Bernie Mac.
And then bad. That's so now no.
But also he's so good. I mean, he's so original that if you did Bernie Mac, you're doing Bernie Mac.
You got to go back though. For Bernie, you got to go like early to mid 2000s. Like you got to. That's when you was
Kings
seeing
of comedy
Kings
shit.
of Post Kings of Comedy. You was, and then you see Bad Chappelle. You see motherfuckers that's doing jokes for Clapter.
Yeah,
and no laughs and shit. But
I love Chappelle, but man, a king that fell off comedy wise, right? Don't you just wish he'd come out with some shit that was like?
I'm gonna say this.
Not.
I saw him at the Punchline when he came here. I thought I was gonna be on the show.
Yeah. Was it good?
Man, let me tell you. So. This is why he's.
I bet it was good.
The GOAT.
I bet it was good.
But this is.
I've seen him live. He's great.
But I'm explaining to you why he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He says yes to do the weekend.
Yeah.
To open it up, right? So the first show I think was like Friday or something like that, right?
$1,000 tickets.
One of his best friends is the Live Nation guy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's why he
okay.
did it.
Yeah. So man, everybody goes to the first. Everybody that went to the first. They did 6 shows. Everybody that went to the first 5 shows was like, what the fuck? I'm just talking mainly comics. The crowd, a lot of the people that's in the crowd, they just happy to be there with Chappelle. But what he's doing on these shows, he's doing what he calls fishing. We just kind of throw the net out there and
he's
see
working
what we
on
get.
shit.
He's just working through shit, right?
Yeah.
I go to the Monday show. I end up going to the Monday show, and he goes out and he does probably one of the best hours I've seen. It's topical. It's everything. It's fucking solid. Well, he came up with the hour over the weekend.
Nice.
That's
he's great. I love
where
Chappelle.
You like, God damn.
I don't want to twist it any other way. I do love Chappelle.
Yeah.
But I just all the last couple specials, I'm like, dude, you are so good. Where you're wasting your energy on shit that no one cares about anymore, dude. Like that's my feeling with it.
Right. I like what he did as far as an overall, not necessarily dreamer, like as far because that was kind of attached to it, but it had kind of moved away from it. It started getting a little more sillier, like little back to a little bit of just silly kind of Chappelle shit.
Yeah.
But if you look at it as an overall collection and how he won an Emmy for every one of them but one of the specials,
I didn't realize that.
it's and that's why he was so mad that Dick Van Dyke won.
Yeah,
because
the
he
Mark
was like,
Twain
I
Award?
would have cleaned it. It was very like deliberate. Like I did these things, I put these out. Okay, this is the reaction I'm getting from them. So now these specials is gonna be a lot of response to some, not the whole specials. It was jokes in there. Only one special was all about trans people, and that was the closer. It's a lot of other shit.
But he does a bit about it on every single one.
Right. Which
yeah.
But if you want to pick apart anybody's body of work, there's always, if you want to pick about anybody's type of work, there's probably one gay joke, one race joke.
Bill Burr talks about overpopulation.
Every single special. So it's like, if you want to dissect it that way and critique it that way, you can. But the only reason you can do it to Chappelle is because the success of them ballooned up so high, it ends up being an easy target to criticize in that fashion. But it's only one special that is a direct.
Well, that's
this whole thing is about trans
that's
people.
That's the only one I enjoyed because it was his friend who commits suicide. It's that one, right?
Yeah, that's Dreamer.
That's the only one I was like, that's actually it's a good story. It's not like overly transphobic. It's literally like I have whatever. But I don't know. I don't know, man.
I look at it like, if you look at it as the whole collection, you like, this is like super brilliant, a body of work, because you I don't even know, but let's just say if you had just if you had put a joke out about, let's just go lighter. I mean, if you had a joke and for some reason the fat community just came after you, it was all these morbidly obese people.
I did once,
right? And you say, "Fuck it."
Excuse me, Andrew. I find that very offensive.
I did a joke about being fat, and I posted a clip on it, and then this pretty famous large person messaged me on Instagram and goes, "You're not one of us." And I was like, "You don't know how fat I think I am."
So imagine
I'm fat for me.
Imagine if you did 5 specials that was somewhat directed at that guy and people but you was winning awards for him. You winning Grammys and Emmys. And you like, look at this is my whole body of work. If I just hyper focused on, and it wasn't really a hyper focus. Like, if you look at the Sticks and Stones that's like to me, out of the whole collection, that was the best special out of the whole one.
Was it the one he did at the store?
That's the one he did at the Tabernacle Theater in Atlanta, where he's got on the jumper and shit, and he opens up with the Prince 1999. He weaves in a suicide joke.
Yeah,
with it was like totally different from everything. It was like awesome. But if you pop in like that, or you got a community of people that's after you, you only get labeled at that.
I guess my argument would be he could lay off that topic, and he would have won every award still. I don't think after the first one, I don't think it I think it just made people roll their eyes and be like, enough.
Yeah.
I didn't, because afterwards those weren't his best jokes on those albums.
No,
one's like,
it wasn't.
Oh, I'm glad he came back to that because he didn't say enough.
It was not the best jokes, but even in the closer, he mentions, well, my argument was never against trans people. It was against white people. And if you look at because that's every premise that he did, the start was, okay, I understand that you have this, but I just feel like you shouldn't say this so loudly in front of black people. Yeah. Because everybody uses the black experience of the civil rights movement to
push their own agenda.
They all use that, but it's not the same because you have people in these groups.
I'm not saying I disagree
that were never
with
not considered people.
I'm not saying I disagree with it. Yeah. I was just saying.
I got you.
I was like, dude, just and this as a comic. This was always my personal opinion.
Good.
I liked all the specials except I was like, come on, dude, enough. Yeah. Right. My thinking was you are a generational talent.
Right.
You are considered the GOAT. Or at least in the argument for GOAT.
Right.
You might not be the GOAT, but, at that point we're talking about LeBron, Jordan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're talking about the GOATs, right?
Right.
And you are in that conversation, and I was like, you're wasting your energy on this thing you've already covered.
Yeah.
put it on something else, and we'll all be like,
Yeah.
oh shit, because I know you've got better
Exactly,
shit
yeah,
to say. That was my
100%.
personal opinion.
100%, 100%.
That was my only argument.
I
on the
think
whole against
I
it.
think
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
feel
this.
you.
I've seen this a lot with a lot of comics who get super famous. Is they can no longer do slice of life shit.
That's
So
right. They be so- that's
you if you are so famous where you can't go to HEB anymore to like be like just judge other people's shopping carts or whatever. You kind of have to pick and pull from stuff that like gets
Yeah.
through whatever filters you have. You know, like
That's very
So
true.
when-
Can I throw out an a comic that I
Watch
think
this.
negates
This
this?
finna make me laugh.
Uh,
I know who you about to say.
But it's not even near my favorite comic, and I like
Okay.
him enough.
All right.
Would be Gaffigan.
I literally was thinking the same thing.
Gaffigan, he does slice of life bullshit, and super famous. No, am I wrong?
I want Gavin to talk about the young bitches he fucked
Yeah.
on the road. How about you tap into that before
That's
they
true.
on stage when they release that? Because this
I
is-
did. Listen. I've heard.
Look, I've heard
some stories. I think
that's why-
So Gaffigan's got that thing out where we all remember when we all knew about Louis before.
Yeah.
Every comic knew about Louis before it became public knowledge.
Yeah.
Gaffigan's got the same
I'm
thing
be
right
honest,
now.
black comics had no idea.
nor did they care.
Like, what? Louis Armstrong jerked off on bitches.
Oh, that Louis.
That Louis, yeah. No,
That's
no.
Louis.
But I got you. You hear rumblings of shit.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Gaffigan. We've all. I mean, I have heard.
I've heard stories in
you've
multiple
heard.
cities.
You brought it up, so I assume.
Go ahead.
I hear that Gaffigan's paying so much hush money that it's like.
And this go the thing.
Crazy.
And this is this was the big shit with Cosby, right?
Yeah.
This is why.
Well, everyone knew the
this
Cosby
is why
thing,
you.
too.
But this is why
There was a
motherfuckers accepted Richard Pryor as a vulnerable as that version, and then everybody jumped on the train to kind of shit on Cosby, regardless of him being America's dad. All that shit was because a person just owning they shit. When somebody owns it, it can be super wrong. But when a motherfucker own they shit and they not trying to have like some double life,
That's why anytime
Best
a powerful
example of
eases
this-
it.
Your best example of this, David Letterman.
David Letterman.
Remember David Letterman?
Yeah.
He goes on TV and he goes, "Hey, I'm getting blackmailed."
Yeah.
That's how it started. He's getting blackmailed, and he goes, and then his whole
explains it.
monologue essentially he goes, "I've been doing some awful things." He goes. And then he goes, I know you guys are. He does like 5 minutes about how he's being blackmailed. He goes, I know you guys want to hear about what awful things. He goes, I've been sleeping with everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody who works for me, I've been fucking.
I fucked
Yeah.
off.
He's like, I fucked everyone.
But I'm the boss.
He goes, but he goes, I know I'm horrible, but I've been fucking everyone, and I just didn't want to pay this guy, and now this guy's in jail. And everyone's like, woo! But he owned his shit.
You gotta
And I was
own it.
Yeah.
When your ass is opening up for the Pope, you might want to start confessing, my nigga. You know what I mean? I'm just because one
You think
time,
he confessed to him?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm saying when them stories start coming out, now this image that you've held up,
That's
can't-
his problem. Is it's too wholesome.
You
He's a
can't-
wholesome.
There you go.
You putting
motherfucker.
yourself.
Yeah.
Don't ever put yourself in a position to be defamed.
Yeah.
If you honest and you vulnerable, can't no information tear you down. You can just own it,
If shit comes out about me,
right?
and then when Andrew did this fucked up thing, you're like, have you listened to his comedy? Of course he did. Of course. Have you listened to his podcast at all?
I will say that was some of the heat that kind of helped kind of get off of Louis because some stuff in his comedy tracked.
Where he just
had a
talks
lot
about
of
the
He
shit.
sad
literally
jack
talked
on him.
about
He
it
talked
before.
about it.
Yeah,
So you see
yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was very like, well, look, y'all. He's saying it. He ain't just come out and just flat out say it on a
that
podcast.
shit didn't work out for Cosby.
No.
He never
He
said
did it. He did it on the early album.
He did the Spanish Fly shit.
Yeah,
But
I
there
mean,
was never a,
It's about drugging women.
but it's never a special where you like, damn, that motherfucker saying. Because even if you drugging bitches, right? Okay, and you want to keep that point. I don't really want to know I'm drugging these bitches.
Yeah, you
but
can't-
if you tap into how much you really like bitches, if you just tap into something a little more sexual, something a little more deeper and darker, then it's like, okay, well, at least he let us in somewhat. He was always fucking
Don't
coming
sag
down.
your pants
He
and
was
use
always
swear
coming
words.
down on everybody. He always sat on the high horse and was condescendingly talking down to motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Well, I struggle with that because I love condescendingly talking down
Well,
to
nigga,
people.
make sure
and
you ain't got no secrets
that's-
back there.
That's,
'Cause if you
that's literally I struggle with that constantly because I do come off as like an insane
Yeah.
prick sometimes.
if people come out and say I'm misogynistic, I'm like, listen, bro, I've been talking about
Listen
this
to one
shit
episode.
for years. Go listen to that episode.
Listen to the last episode. He's a feminist.
There are about 80 hours of Trey recorded in the ether.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm on
You can't get in
Let
trouble
you
for the
pick-
thing you're admitting to.
Yeah.
You know?
I support bitches. I just
And
don't
also,
believe it.
I want to throw this out there right now to protect the podcast.
Right.
None of us know for sure that Gaffigan is doing anything.
Yeah.
But we've heard the stories.
Man, let me tell you.
I've heard it.
to pretend.
I've heard it in multiple clubs.
He is, but he don't talk about. That's why. But see, I told Mason Jane this. I said, boy, you better start figuring out a way to talk about some shit because you're gonna get cursed. The curse of the clean comic.
Yeah.
Every clean comic got a dark some shit. Regan
think Mason
drink
James
his
does.
ass off.
Yeah.
I don't think Mason does.
What?
I think Mason's a wholesome boy.
Man, I hope he beat his wife. I just hope. I'm saying you gotta
I've
have
met her.
something.
She's sweet.
The
so.
Yeah,
curse
she's nice.
of the clean comic. Every clean comic.
That
you
one
be like,
clean
"God damn."
comic who went around the country raping chicks. I forgot his name. He
Cosby?
they no not
Oh, the dude that was doing the college gig.
Yeah, the dude that was
I
doing the
forgot
college.
his
He was
name,
a
too.
clean guy, and he would go and he would rape chicks, and he would be crying the whole time while he was.
And then he would leave. Nobody suspected him because nobody thought the comic, but he
Yeah.
was the perfect suspect.
Yeah.
He there for that night, and then he on to the next place. This motherfucker
Yeah.
just.
Boop, 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 boop.
But you already gonna know it's gonna happen, bro. That's
He's like, I don't think we should add some extra shows.
man, you sold this one out so quick. We're thinking, no, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I got other plans.
I gotta be in Des Moines. Tomorrow.
Anywhere else. I think I'll go to Mexico.
They all got their shit.
Okay,
man.
well here's a question. Then this
ahead.
just popped into my head a while ago. Why do Indian comics get a pass for co-opting black culture?
They don't, and I
Okay.
can't wait. I'm working on 7 minutes about this shit. I'm sorry, let me calm
Go
down.
on. No, you're good.
I've never understood. So, Indian, Asian, it's certain. I don't understand. I kind of get white people attaching to some black culture because y'all have a reputation for not having culture,
Which
like
isn't true.
or which isn't
We have some.
necessarily true. Y'all got some shit.
We've
that's
got culture.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Declaration of Independence.
Still-
Racism.
yeah, and
What else?
Skateboarding.
cornhole. You know,
Feminism.
but
Capital and communism.
Yeah, capitalism. Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
never
Yeah.
understood. I never understood a group of people that attach themselves to a culture when they have one. So, like black people, we had to make this shit up because they erased our history. A lot of us can't go back. A lot of us think that our history begins at a slave ship. But it's like there was a lineage before that. Before they come over here and they're slaves, there's a whole life and everything that's before that, but it's all erased. So you have to make up shit here, like hip hop and all of that shit. And when you see people attaching themselves to it, it confuses me because it's like, well, you know exactly where your family is from and everything that's there. Why would you not gravitate toward that? And it's
Because-
not that they get a pass. It's
Because
just,
black people have the coolest culture.
we do got the coolest culture.
You literally what
It's-
fucking most of America bases their lifestyle on.
Yes.
I respect.
In Indian people,
But other
what's
countries-
cool about Indian culture? Let's be honest.
But in other countries,
Name
you go to
one
Iceland.
fucking thing.
You'll see-
You can go to Iceland. And
Bollywood
see,
is the dorkiest fucking like
They have Romanian
what-
hip-hop.
Yeah, get out of here, dude. No one wants to even. You lost me at Rome.
Romania.
That's it.
But it ain't even really a pass. It's just nobody's noticed it enough to just say it. Like.
I mean,
properly end up
every-
bringing it
I'm
up.
from Houston, so I see Asian culture. They see a lot
see
of black
that.
culture.
Yeah.
If you're from Houston, you've definitely seen an Asian person say the N-word.
Say the N-word.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
regularly and be like, "What? I don't give a
yeah.
fuck."
What, I grew up in Sharpstown, and
Yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
what?
And it,
And they
it's-
get a pass by everybody. Nobody, black people included, are like, "Yeah, all right."
Well, even
We
like
don't
so
give a shit.
like Indian
Like-
comics being sneakerheads, and then like I mean like I'm not trying to talk shit on it. Aziz Ansari, he would release a special 2 years after Dave Chappelle specials that looked exactly the same as
Yeah,
Dave
oh,
Chappelle's specials. It was crazy.
Nah.
Like no, I was going. Dude,
He would
did,
apologize.
A special in black and white.
Yeah, no, he did it. So he did one in like a suit. He did a suit special, which there a bunch of black comics were doing suit specials at that time. Then he moved into a black and white where he was literally sitting on the chair doing the like mic thing, and then I don't know.
No, you man.
I don't know.
I just think nobody's like I say, been able to just kind of the terrible part about it when you run into some of these guys that's like Indian, Arab, and all that, and they tapped into the hip hop culture. They'll be condescending to a black person about the history of your shit.
Yeah,
they'll like talk down, and I'll be like, man, would you shut the fuck up? Like,
they're right, but
just be
shut up.
No, well, it'd be like if you say something and they'll try to correct you on something. I just always believe if somebody's speaking from their experience or they struggle, that's very unique to what they're a part of, you gotta let them just have it. You know what I mean? Like, let them have it. When we talk, I know you know a lot of history, but I appreciate that if I get to somewhere black, he just be like, go ahead, you say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he'll just be like, go ahead, Trey, you say it.
I'm a big fan of Southern hip hop, but I realize that I'm just a tourist. I lived in Memphis and Houston, and I remember
you're a visitor here. You're not permanent.
After Katrina, I got to see like a New Orleans bounce beat that got girls shaking asses, and I was like, "This is amazing! How are these gay guys making girls' asses shake?" And like, I wrote a short story about that. How I think that gay culture got more accepted in New Orleans just because everyone in the South was like, I'll beat that gay guy up, until it was just like, hold up. Let's just get these girls' asses shaking.
Who was the fucking rapper that really...
Big Frida, Sissy Nobby, Magnolia Red. And all that Ninth Ward stuff was fantastic. But I was like 16 and I just saw like girls from Katrina going nuts, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And then
the biggest thing that Arab...
You just said girls from Katrina.
Yeah.
No.
My coach called them Katricians.
Once they wash your city away, goddammit, you are now...
I came out. I wasn't here before, but Katrina got
you
me.
You are now a citizen of your tragedy. What do we call old Jews? Holocaust victims.
Survivors.
Survivors,
Oh,
my favorite type of woman are the 9/11s. They bring the house down. Okay,
the 9/11.
That's fun.
That's hilarious.
But I don't know. Culturally, I love specifically Southern hip hop and rap. But I'm a fucking I'm not when I'm listening to fucking Project Pat. I'm gonna and someone's like, I love Project Pat. I'm like, did you know that he actually started in 1990?
Yeah, you started.
I'm not gonna. I don't need to give people. I'm just like, shit's banging. You want to listen to Gorilla Pimp? It's one of my favorite songs. A
lot of it is we just want people outside of it just fuck with it. That's what that term is for. I fuck with it. Yeah. It just means I get it. Once you start trying to morph into it, it feels weird. Nobody likes a race traitor. We just have a term for it. You know what I mean?
A couple,
yeah. True. A couple of very popular terms for it.
Oh, man.
I mean, you kind of, you got your shit that you like.
I do my shit what I like.
Yeah, I mean, you got your shit that you like.
But I don't care if any other race likes it.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Why would I give a shit?
Well, that's a
But
luxury.
also, I grew up in upstate New York,
and here,
yeah. I don't know, man. And also, I grew up off of fucking hip. I grew up off of everything. I like everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, and also I think black culture is the coolest.
Yeah.
I literally have 7 minutes of comedy that I do regularly about how black people are the best race, and it really goes mediocre in most places
because there aren't a lot of black
people. But it's all built off of instincts. If you think about it, right? It's dope because the most innovative that you'll be is when you in survival mode. You figure out ways you just figure shit out, and you figure out ways to be entertaining. You figure out ways to whatever. So if you if a group of people is constantly sort of in survival mode in a way, or you just always have to have your instincts up and high, the culture is just gonna thrive in that.
To a point, all right.
Pop culture is just black culture that's done with it. That's why y'all get the slang late.
I mean, I think it's fascinating that because I have a TikTok that kids are using the term bop, which has been used since the 90s, and they're like, and so like it's very interesting. Like 18-year-old white kids are like, I love that term. We came up with it. I'm like, no, that was fucking
What does that even mean?
Yeah, it's a hoe.
A bop.
A
bopper. Yeah.
You talking chicken head?
Yeah,
you get it. Yeah.
We all got
that
the same
shit.
bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a different.
Or what was the shit? They tried to say
Dude, you know what my favorite one is now? A torta. I love a torta.
Okay.
Dude, you
Big
love them
Mexican girls?
tortas.
Yeah.
It's just a big girl.
Yeah, just a
it
big
don't
girl.
have to be Mexican. Big girl.
I'm gonna say this
torta.
again. I don't like tortas. That's just who says yes. The other way is illegal. But or like what is it? Slowed and reverbed.
Yeah.
That which is
Chopped
chopped
and
and
screwed?
screwed, and they
Yeah.
tried to say that. Somebody else made. We like, bro, what the fuck? This is
Slowed and
documented that
reverbed.
it's DJ Screw, bitch.
Yeah, dude.
Uncoupling, I think uncoupling black culture and just the South in general is really hard. Like
Right.
Like I don't know. I'm not taking credit for hip hop. Don't get it
Slowed
twisted.
and reverb is wild.
Like, yeah,
That is. It just looks like someone looked up the definition of what is chopped and
The
screwed.
screwed.
They went
and they go,
they
"That
went
is
they went through
slowed
it they went through a
reverb."
thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
Went through a thesaurus and they were like, all right, what's the closest that we
Chopped,
have?
screwed, slow and reverb.
Yeah. It's sad, bro. It's you know what I mean. So I don't know. I don't really know where to go from here.
Oh man,
I think we got to wrap it up.
Got kind of deep into it.
I've had to pee for 30 minutes.
there we go.
You can hold your pee for 30 minutes.
Ooh, now for 30 minutes more. I'll tell you that. I'm running low.
How many times you pee in the middle of the night?
None.
Oh shit,
No, I hold that shit till the morning. That shit wakes me up, Native American style.
man, that's wild.
That's the Native American alarm right there.
we
You
call
fucking drink
him
a bunch of water before you go to sleep. That way you wake up early.
We call him wakes with full bladder.
Yeah.
I'm bringing back accents as long as they're reflexive of what was happening. You know, as long as you're not doing anything like terribly racist, right? You can do an accent.
No, as long as you
That's how I would describe our podcast. It's not terribly racist. A little racist, but not terribly.
I would certainly say racial, but that's not a bad thing.
as long as you do it accurately.
yeah.
If you do an accent accurately, it's not. It is an homage, but it's a fine line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You are one shriek away from it being racist.
Gotta be careful.
Oh, his voice cracked. It's racist, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. I've been doing this bit and it works just because I was. Oh yeah, wait, we gotta go. Never mind.
There you go.
I was jogging by
I'll figure it
Waltrip
out.
High School.
I'm peeing right now.
Yeah. I was jogging by Waltrip High School and I saw two Mexican teenagers flirting with each other, and that hasn't changed in
Gross.
20 years. It was at the it was at the bus stop, and this guy pushed the girl into traffic and then pulled her back and goes, "I saved your life," and then she hit him and went, "You play too much," and then they started kissing, and I was like, "Good." That hasn't changed since Bush was in
you
office.
You play
That's-
too much that's a trope.
Yeah.
That is a fun trope.
Yeah, but it is.
Play too much, stupid.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she likes me.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, man. Well, he gotta go pee.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Do you want to? Yeah. You say where you're going to be in the next couple of months.
Denver, El Paso. I really thought I'd remember the other ones by the time this episode recorded. There's more. Come on, let's think about it. Dallas. Lake Charles. Here we go. One more. I know I got at least Denver. I already said that.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. I remember my jokes as good as I remember my dates. Please come out and see me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Please come to You Look Like at the Houston Improv on February 2nd. I really need this to work or I'm fucked.
Hell yeah.
No, I'm totally kidding. And then I'll be all over the country in February. Just find me on gunsandliquor.com.
By the time this comes out, I'm on tour with Andrew Santino. I don't know where we're at. I don't know. I don't know. Perfect. No,
Please come to the secret group too. We love it when live people,
Please come to the
Come
secret
on.
group.
We're here all the time.
The one of the hottest spots is the box.
Yeah.
The
Come to the box.
yeah. For sure.